take the day off. Many downtown Chicago businesses have told employees don't even show up to work today as the NATO summit concludes.
The city is bracing for more demonstrations and more traffic headaches. Melissa, what else is making news today?
A Quincy radio station will have a new owner in the coming months. We'll have more details on that in a minute. Tegan?
Well, your forecast today kicks off with 51 degrees, a bit cooler than we've seen the last few days. Our winds are out of the northwest at 7 miles an hour. Pressure is at 30.16. The humidity at 77%. Cooler today, much warmer later in the week. Lindsay?
Well, we just showed you that video of the 80-year-old skydiver. So this morning on the wall, we want to know what's on the top of your bucket list. Log on to our Facebook page, or you can always send us a tweet at KHQA. Plus, we're talking about boat safety this morning. Memorial Day is only a week away. Your Monday morning starts now.
Live from across the tri-states, this is KHQA This Morning. It's your news now.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to it. It is May 21st. I'm Chad Douglas.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Hannah McNeff. Your morning eye-opener is going to take us to Harper County, Kansas, where Storm Chaser captured this dramatic video of a tornado on the ground. Check out this tornado. You're looking at what is believed to be an EF3 tornado, which is pretty large.
As you look at this video, though, it looks like the twister is ripping through a wind farm, yet none of the wind turbines are spinning. I find that odd. Some of the turbines were damaged by the twister, though. Roofs were also ripped off homes, and a lot of farm machinery was damaged just in time for the wheat harvests. Tegan, explain to us why those turbines are standing still.
A lot of times when you see that, it's like a calm before the storm. So all that pressure there is built in, and everything, all of that gets sucked in as well. That's why a lot of times you go outside and it's calm, and all of a sudden the wind will start to pick up and you hear that rumble that sounds like a freight train. So we are talking about that severe weather, not anywhere near the tri-state area. In fact, it happened in Kansas over the weekend. So bad news for those folks there. Good news is, though, not a lot of damage reported, except for, unfortunately, the wheat crop there. Looking at 72 degrees today, much cooler than we've seen this weekend. In fact, we're actually below average both for our high today and our low. 95 was our record back in 1925. 38 was a record low back in 2002. Now, we could be close to some records as we head into the weekend. Your sun, it already rose this morning at 5:45, although it sets tonight at 8:19. Melissa?
I'm Melissa Shriver with a check of your news at 6:02. The Burlington community is grieving this morning after a weekend boat collision claimed 4 lives. A makeshift memorial now stands on Burlington's riverfront in remembrance of the 4 victims pulled from Mississippi River yesterday. Search and rescue officials say the head-on crash between 2 boats happened early Saturday just before 2 a.m. One boat was carrying 11 people. The other had a single passenger. 8 people were rescued from the water, but 4 victims, including 3 men and a woman ages 19 to 22, didn't make it.
There were 2 boats that were shuttling people back and forth to a river island in the dark, and the 2 boats collided. And when they collided, there were several people that were injured, and 4 were then missing.
The cause of the crash is still under investigation as officials are trying to piece together what exactly happened with the information they do have. Autopsies are scheduled for this week to determine the cause of death. You can find all the latest on this story online at connecttristates.com. 4 men from a local biker group are in jail this morning after an alleged armed robbery in Quincy. Police say the robbery happened at 12th and Hampshire Streets between 2 separate biker groups. According to investigators, 2 men from one bike group were riding through Quincy when a second group of bikers approached them. That's when one of the men pulled a gun and robbed them. Investigators with the Adams County Sheriff's Department, Illinois State Conservation Police, and Quincy Police tracked these 4 suspects to Percenter's MC Clubhouse in Liberty. There they arrested Zane E. Liggett of Springfield, Timothy Jackson of Root House, Gerald Utterback, and Joseph Teal Jr., both of Barry. They also recovered several guns and evidence at that club.
These are opposite motorcycle clubs. We're not really wanting to call it any kind of gang related at this point, but they are wearing the colors and the jackets, and through the investigation we were able to take some people into custody, at least preliminarily for investigative purposes, to be questioned.
Sergeant Dan Doomhamel with the Quincy Police Department says no shots were fired and no injuries were reported. The group is set to appear in court later today. More than 2,000 people wrongly convicted of serious crimes have been exonerated in the U.S. over the past 23 years. The new database by law schools at the University of Michigan and Northwestern University is the most complete list of exonerations ever compiled. The researchers say that nearly 900 of those found falsely convicted spent more than a total of 10,000 years in prison. New proposed legislation in Missouri may change education as we know it in the Show Me State. Two bills are heading to the Missouri governor's desk for his signature. The first would expand the reach of charter schools in the state. The second allows rural students to choose to attend a school that is closer to them, even if they're not in that school district. Charter legislation also calls for tougher accountability standards for charter schools. And once again, those two bills are on the governor's desk, a signature away from becoming law. Radio station WQUB, or 90.3 FM, will have a new owner in the coming months. The University of Missouri St. Louis will buy the public radio station from Quincy University. After the sale is completed, it will be called the Quincy Public Radio. Now, under the umbrella of St. Louis Public Radio, Quincy listeners will get to continue to enjoy their regular public radio programs. New research shows that half of overweight teens in the U.S. have unhealthy blood pressure, cholesterol, or blood sugar levels that put them at risk for future heart problems. And a greater percentage of obese kids are at risk as well. That study in Monday's journal Pediatrics. And just a day before the one-year anniversary of the deadly Joplin tornado, President Barack Obama will deliver the commencement speech today to the graduating class at Joplin High School. Just hours after last year's graduation on May 22nd, you'll recall that a twister ripped through Joplin, killing 161 people, injuring hundreds more, and destroying thousands of homes and businesses. And here's a reminder to commuters who use Quincy's Bayview Bridge. One lane of the bridge will be closed today and tomorrow for repairs. Crews will be sealing the bridge deck during daylight hours. Motorists are asked to watch their speed as they travel through that construction zone. Will they have good weather for that construction, though? We're going to send it over to Tegan to find out.
Looks like the weather is going to cooperate this week. Cool today, but much warmer towards the end of the week. Severe storms over the weekend here left damage near parts of Wichita. As you can see here by this video, funnel clouds over Kingman and golf ball size hail were reported in much of the area. The storm not only uprooted trees, but it did rip off a few roofs off the houses. There you see the large hail there that fell. And of course, no reports of any injuries over the weekend. Here in the tri-state area, we saw some light rain for us. It lasted about 5 or 10 minutes across so much of the area. And in fact, as you head into Quincy Point South and East, saw the rain yesterday. Much cooler today as that cold front pushed through. We'll still enjoy the sunshine, but it's a big warm up ahead by the end of the week. So if you like the lower 70s, enjoy today because it's definitely going to be a lot warmer by Friday. We're looking at a few scattered showers as you head into the northern Great Lakes, and cloud cover as you head through the Midwest. A few scattered showers as well through Arkansas. It's clear into the upper plains, a little light cloud cover throughout the west as well. Even a few scattered showers there in southern Colorado and northern Texas. But not much moisture across the area. In fact, even some communities here in the tri-state area, it's been 3 weeks since they've seen any good significant amount of rain, and we definitely could use some. Unfortunately, still dominated by an area of high pressure, so no rain at this time in the 7-day forecast. In fact, it's heat and humidity for us heading into your holiday weekend. With no rain in sight, definitely going to be a steamy one heading into Memorial Day. Highs today will be much cooler. We topped out into the mid-80s over the weekend. Now we're talking the lower 70s today. 72 for Hannibal and Quincy, 71 for Keokuk and Macomb. Winds out of the north at 10 to 25 miles an hour. Mostly sunny, just cooler this afternoon. It's chilly tonight, upper 40s. Even further north you go, could sneak in the 30s here across the Midwest. Winds calm down and they'll switch to the south. Very calm by time we head into Tuesday afternoon. And this is the warm up begins. It's still in the upper 70s for Macomb, the lower 80s as you head through Quincy, Keokuk, and Hannibal, and it gets warmer from there. Each day we tend to get a little bit warmer, looking at 84 degrees by Wednesday. We're back into the 60s, much warmer there Wednesday evening. 90 by Thursday, 92 Friday, and we top out, kick off to your Memorial Day weekend, 93 degrees. Our lows back into the mid to upper 60s. 87, still quite warm as we head into Sunday. So heat and humidity heading into the weekend, which means it's the first time a lot of boaters will hit the water this season. Lindsay?
Well, we'll take it first. One of the funniest people on Saturday Night Live leaving her gig.
And The Avengers is not about to leave its top spot at the box office. Your Hollywood Buzz is just 3 minutes away. It's 6:10.
Si-
6:12, welcome back. That's a live look at Atlanta, but we're welcoming you right back here to the studio on Monday morning. This is what we're talking about this morning on our Facebook wall. Just this last weekend, an 80-year-old grandmother jumped out of a plane to skydive
Willingly.
at rapid descent. Yeah, she wanted to do this. It was kind of part of her bucket list. So we asked you guys, hey, what would you do? What do you want to do before you kick the bucket?
Nice way to put it. So here are some of your comments. To be a contestant on Jeopardy! Who is Eric Nitrotrone?
He also wants to wrestle an alligator, by the way.
Both very tough tasks, I would think. Terry Puffenberger says an Alaska cruise up in Inner Passage. You know, Terry, Roger Maples is going to Alaska on the Inner Cruise there in July,
Yeah,
in
that'd be a
August.
good way. I actually share one with Sean and Jamie. Go to Ireland and see where all the ancestors are from. Last name McNeff, got a pretty large Irish background myself. I would love to go there as well.
Lots of travel plans. You can continue the conversation, as always, on our Facebook wall. You can also send us a tweet of what is on your bucket list. Just about 6:14, time to get on to your Hollywood Buzz for this Monday. He has been missing for more than a week. Now he's apparently been found in rehab. Actor Nick Stahl's wife tells People magazine the 32-year-old Terminator 3 actor elected to get help for his substance abuse problem. She had reported him missing to police. I'm sure you remember Stahl got his big break at 13 years old, starring alongside Mel Gibson in the movie The Man Without a Face. So tonight, House ends its long run on the Fox network, and Hugh Laurie, the show star, says he's leaving the show with his dignity intact. He says, we never did one of those like House Got a Puppy type of episodes, so be interesting to see how that shakes out tonight.
Yeah, he says that gives him huge satisfaction. An hour-long retrospective show will air right before the season finale.
By the way, last night's finale, Celebrity Apprentice, is over. Hope we're not spoiling anything for you. Arsenio Hall is the winner there. Clay Aiken.
Second runner-up
Again.
for twice. Poor guy. I don't think he's too poor, though. He's done pretty well regardless.
I think he's doing just fine. But always a number 2.
Yep. Music's biggest stars put on a show in Vegas last night. It was the Billboard Music Awards there. Party rock anthem singers LMFAO won Best Group and Hot 100 Song of the Year.
Nice
Chris
shirt.
Brown won Top R&B Artist, good for him, and Wiz Khalifa was crowned Top New Artist. Whitney Houston's daughter, Bobby Christina, she accepted the Millennium Award on behalf of her late mother. John Legend and Jordan Sparks paid tribute in song, and then Adam Yauch of Beastie Boys and Donna Summers were also remembered there.
A lot of remembrances.
Yeah.
In fact, the show also marked a moment of silence for one of the co-founders of the Bee Gees. Robin Gibb died yesterday from a long battle with cancer. The Bee Gees was made up of 3 British-born and Australian-raised brothers. They sold more than 200 million albums and were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And now it's reported that Barry Gibb, the last surviving member of the group, maintained a vigil at his brother's bedside in London. Robin Gibb was just 62 years old.
Well, comedian Kristen Wiig may be saying so long to Saturday Night. The Bridesmaid star appeared to end her run on Saturday Night Live in last night's season finale. The last skit showed Wiig as a high school graduate. Cast members and SNL creator Lorne Michaels took turns for her final dance with her. Her departure has not been confirmed, though, by NBC.
Well, did you make it out to a movie this weekend?
No, I didn't.
If you did, you're certainly not alone. I didn't either, but a lot of people did. Marvel's The Avengers dominated the box office for a 3rd weekend in a row. It's the Hunger Games all over again. The superhero blockbuster pulled in another $55 million in domestic ticket sales. Battleship floated to a distant second in its first theaters, and this guy, Sacha Baron Cohen's Dictator, debuted in 3rd place today, or this weekend, not today.
Your bus stop forecast, kids. Yes, it's Monday, and this may be the last Monday that you have to get up for school for the next couple of months, and it's actually a chilly one. Back into the lower 50s this morning. Winds are a bit brisk as well. Definitely grab a jacket before you head out the door. You won't need it this afternoon, though. 70, just some winds out of the north. It gets a lot warmer, though, tomorrow, and even the 90s return heading into the weekend.
And next Monday is Memorial Day weekend, which is the unofficial start to summer, so we're making sure that you guys are safe if you plan on going out on the river or on a lake. We're talking boat safety next.
Live from across the tri-states, this is KHQA This Morning. It's your news now.
Welcome back at 6:19. Man, if you're looking at this weather forecast the next week, it's going to be warm enough to be out on a boat, and that's exactly where Lindsay is this morning.
In fact, I'm calling her Lindsay Boat this morning. Good morning. You look
I'm on a boat.
You look very tall. Are you the queen of the world or what?
I'm on a boat. What about Bob? That's what's going on. Yeah, we're talking about boat safety. Memorial Day weekend is coming up. And we want to make sure that you're safe on a boat. I have one life jacket on. Actually, I have two. This is also a fanny pack life jacket. You just pull this, and actually I was playing with it earlier and I almost inflated it, so we're just going to leave that alone. But there are some things that you need to know if you have a boat and you plan on going on the water. Sergeant Jeff Creech with Missouri State Highway Patrol is with us also. This is his boat, not mine. So what do we need to have on the boat if you're a boat owner and you're planning on going on the water?
Okay. Missouri law requires you anything on a boat that's 16 feet and over, you have to have a wearable life jacket for each person on board and for a skier if they're being towed. And the life jackets need to be out and accessible. We have a lot of people, when I do a safety inspection or stop a boat on the boat, they have to be out of the compartments. A lot of people like to stick them down in the compartments and shut the lid. Well, in case of emergency, it's more than one step to get to it, and you're not going to get to it in time before you need it. So they need to be out somewhere in the boat and be accessible. You need to have a throw cushion, which is the square, the little throwable device. You need to have a horn or a whistle. And you'll also need to have a fire extinguisher for the boat. Any boat that uses combustible fuel has to have a fire extinguisher on board.
And now you were talking earlier, it's important to shake it.
Yes, these have a dry chemical powder in them, and even bouncing around in the boat in the summertime, if the boat's been stored all winter, you need to take it out. You need to be able to shake it up and make sure you can hear the powder moving inside, because it's pressurized, but if you go to spray it, you probably won't get anything out of it if it's caked up in the bottom. And also, after being stored all winter, you need to make sure, I get a lot of these during boat inspections, look in the nozzle. Mud daubers love this as a little home inside. If you go to spray it, you won't get anything out. And the different types of fire extinguishers, make sure you check the gauge. This one's in the green, that's where it should be. They also have a little green, some that have green buttons on top. You push the button in, as long as the button comes out, it's got enough pressure, it's still a good fire extinguisher.
Now people, they go out boating, they go lay out on the boat, but some people like to water ski. And this is a water skiing belt.
This is old, you don't see a lot of these anymore. It's a ski belt. This is not a Coast Guard approved life-saving device. A lot of people try to wear them. It's not a life-saving device. If you're water skiing, you can get by with wearing it because you're not required to wear one while you're that, but it will not count as a life-saving device for a person on board. The problem with one of these, you might be unconscious, you might float with your feet up in the air. It's just to hold you above the water a little bit, but you never know which end's going to be up.
And now we were talking off camera about having a flag on board as well.
Yes. In Missouri, there's a law that if you're towing a skier and the skier's down, or you got a swimmer down in the water on the lakes of Missouri, from 11 a.m. until sunset, where you can't ski after sunset, when the boat's dead in the water, you need to raise your flag so it's visible for 360 degrees. It needs to be an orange or a red, about 12-inch square flag. And then when you pull the skier up or the swimmer comes in the boat and you start moving again, you lay the flag down. That's just visible for other boaters to know that you've got somebody in the water.
And now after sunset, are there light requirements that you have to have?
Yes. Half hour after sunset to a half hour before sunrise, you're required to have lights on your boat. It'd be red and green on the front and a white that's visible for 360 called a stern light on the back of the boat.
All right. Very good information. Memorial Day weekend is coming up, only a week away, which means summer is unofficially kicked off. Of course, summer doesn't technically start until the end of June, but it looks like it's going to be a great weekend to get out on the boat and have some fun this summer, but make sure you're safe when you're out there as well.
Very important. And today is going to feel like the last day of spring, I think, because summer is going to get ushered in here by about Wednesday. Tegan?
It definitely is. We're seeing a forecast that's a little more comfortable today for a lot of you, with our temperatures back into the 70s. 72 is our high today. In fact, we're a little bit below average as we head towards the end of May. Winds, though, a bit gusty out of the north at 25 miles an hour. Lows tonight back in the 50s, but by the time we head into, midweek, it's the 90s returning.
If you are looking for a great summer vacation, we have one for you. You could win a trip to Rio Cancun in Mexico, courtesy of Fun Jet Vacations.
It's a 3-day, 4-night trip, including round-trip air through St. Louis. Just log on to our website to enter. You only have until Friday at 5 p.m., so make sure you get in and do it now. Good luck to all those who enter.
Yeah, incredible video of the moon last night, actually the sun.
So incredible that it hasn't been seen in 18 years, but we're going to show it to you coming up next at 6:24.
6:26 is your time. It is a Monday, May 21st. That's a live look at the Quincy Senior High baseball field because, well, we wanted to show you a baseball field. That's why.
Oh, it's that time of year. Baseball season's in full swing.
They are done. They got out of school on Friday.
High school's done.
Oh, softball, intramural leagues, all that stuff's going on. I love going to those.
And the major leagues obviously still going on.
Oh, for sure.
Yes, but not across the street. Western North America and Eastern Asia witnessed a very rare event last night. The moon sliding across the sun, blocking out the entire celestial body, except for a bright halo of lights. There you see it. It's called a ring of fire eclipse. The last time one of these was visible from anywhere in the lower 48, almost 2 decades ago. In the U.S., the ring of fire was seen from southern Oregon to the Texas Panhandle.
In fact, you were just serenading us with the ring of fire.
I was, the little Johnny Cash. Listen to the people cheer.
I would too. That's so cool.
I've never seen a solar eclipse. I've seen some lunar eclipses.
I actually did see a solar, lunar, one of the two. Just like
there's
this.
kind of a big difference.
Whatever this one was when it came across.
That's a solar.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Well, and here's my bummed out story. This happened, a solar eclipse happened in our area when I was in high school. And I was kind of a science geek, a space geek, and was really excited by this. The particular time it happened during the day, the teacher closed the shades so we wouldn't be distracted.
What?
That should have been a learning moment.
I remember seeing.
That's what I was thinking, was like, wow, here's a chance to learn something that happens every 200 years. And we missed it.
You missed it.
Yeah.
Womp womp.
Yes.
So it's good to see on
It is,
TV,
and
I guess.
one of the most incredible views was that on Mount Fuji. They got to see it.
Oh, I bet.
So it was just spectacular to see it.
I bet. Of course, you can't look at the solar eclipse with your naked eye.
Plus you're in
Exactly.
Fuji. I mean,
You know.
win-win.
Or Fiji.
Your forecast for today, we are looking at 72 under mostly sunny skies. We're looking at cooler temperatures today, 50 as we head into tonight, 80 tomorrow, 84 Wednesday, 90 by the time we head into your Thursday. And you know what? Not bad. Back into the 90s. Yes, warm, hot, and humid as we head into your holiday weekend.
We need Lindsay. She was a geography minor. Mount Fuji
Mount Fuji
is in Japan. Fiji
Fiji.
is in like Southeast Asia.
Oh.
There we go. We do know what we're talking about
I
when
was
it comes
totally not
to geography. Yeah. Mississippi River right behind us.
I got that.
That's where we know. Hey, if it is your birthday, and it is your birthday, so happy birthday to Hannah.
Thanks.
And to you if you're celebrating on this May 21st, or if you had a birthday yesterday. From us and Emerald City Jewelers, 629. We're back in 2 minutes. obese teenagers who have no symptoms of heart disease probably already have some heart damage.
Just a few days ago, General Motors said that it was pulling ads from Facebook, but now it's also leaving the Super Bowl. Melissa, what else is making news today?
Breaking news this morning, we now know who the suspects are in that biker robbery that happened over the weekend. We'll have the details in just a minute. Tegan?
Definitely a cooler kickoff to your work week and still a school week for some of you. 51 degrees at the Zahor, winds out the northwest at 7. Pressure's at 30.16. Your humidity right now, 77%. Lindsay?
This morning we have an amazing story of a skydiving grandma. She skydove at 80 years old. So we want to know this morning on the wall what's on the top of your bucket list. Log on to our Facebook page, or you can always send us a tweet. Plus, we're talking about road safety. Your Monday morning starts now.
Live from across the tri-states, this is KHQA This Morning. It's your news now.
All right, she's talking about jumping out of an airplane. The train is going behind her. She's in a boat.
Plane, trains, and automobiles.
There we go. It is Monday, May 21st. I'm Chad Douglas. You're Hannah McNeff.
Good morning, everyone. Yes.
Your morning eye-opener takes us to Guatemala, where the Fuego volcano belched out burning lava and black ash over the weekend. It's a fun story to talk about. Authorities, well, not really if you live there, I guess. Authorities are monitoring the situation, of course. Now, there are some things going on there as well, including a flight advisory. So if you're flying in and around lovely Guatemala soon, take note. However, the international airport is still open. Locals say, by the way, on a serious note, this is one of the worst eruptions they've seen the Fuego volcano have in quite some time.
Yeah, a bad eruption, but impressive to watch here in because we don't get to see that here in the Midwest. I know. We see severe weather. We're looking at 72. That is our high today. It is much cooler this afternoon. 74 is where we should be. So we are just 2 degrees below average. At 95 was our record back in 1925. 38 was our record low back in 2002. The sun, it is already rose this morning at 5:45. It's going to set tonight at 8:19. We're enjoying those longer days.
I'm Melissa Schreiber with a check of your news now at 6:34. Autopsies are scheduled for this week for the 4 people killed during a weekend boat collision on the Mississippi River near Burlington. A makeshift memorial now stands on Burlington's riverfront in remembrance of the 4 victims pulled from the water yesterday. Search and rescue officials say the head-on crash between 2 boats happened early Saturday just before 2 a.m. One boat was carrying 11 people. The other had a single passenger. 8 people were rescued from the water, but 4 victims, including 3 men and a woman, ages 19 to 22, didn't make it. We have all the latest details on this story online at connecttristates.com. 4 men from a local biker group are in jail this morning after an alleged armed robbery in Quincy. Police say the robbery happened at 12th and Hampshire Streets in Quincy between 2 separate biker groups. According to investigators, 2 men from one bike club were riding through Quincy when a second group of bikers approached them. That's when one biker pulled a gun and robbed them. Investigators with the Adams County Sheriff's Department as well as the Quincy Police Department tracked the 4 suspects to the Percenters MC Clubhouse in Liberty. Here they are right here. Zane E. Liggett of Springfield, Timothy Jackson of Root House, Gerald Utterback, and Joseph Teal Jr., both of Barry. They recovered evidence like guns and other things at the club as well. We'll continue to follow this story as it goes on. Those suspects are expected to appear in court today. Quincy police are looking into who is behind some vandalism to a business on Quincy's south side. This glass window was broken out at State Beauty Supply near the corner of Ohio and South 12th Streets. However, investigators say although the window was broken out, nothing was missing from that building. A Montrose coal plant has temporarily shut down after an early morning fire on Saturday. The Daily Gate City reports 4 fire departments responded to the fire at Hendricks River Logistics just south of Montrose. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Firefighters say, though, it was contained to the company's conveyor system and tower. No workers were injured. Operations at the plant, though, are at a standstill until that conveyor system can be repaired. Quincy's historic Indian burial grounds were the focus of sacred ceremonies that go back centuries this weekend. The grounds located in Indian Mounds Park were recently uncovered by volunteers and Native American tribes to remove those decades of dense overgrowth. These mounds are some of the Midwest's best examples of flat-top pyramid mounds. You can check out those ceremonies here to rededicate those mounds. Sacred Native American pipe, drum ceremonies, and of course dances were performed in order to rededicate those mounds to the earth. And here's a story you've got to check out this morning to help you get, let's say, a jump on your day. We've been talking about it all morning. This tri-state grandma, Marilyn Whitler, is 80 years old, but that did not stop her from getting skydiving off of her bucket list. Just check this out. She took a leap with her family. In fact, she took a leap with her 3 grandchildren. It was a family affair throughout the whole thing. Her family even came out to watch, greeted her from the ground. She was pretty excited to have accomplished it, and she said that everybody has to do that. But get this, it all started with an offhanded comment.
They said what fun it was going to be, and I said, you know, that's something I've always wanted to do, and well, I should have kept my mouth shut because they haven't let me alone since.
We mentioned something to her about it. She said she was interested, and we kind of wrote it off, but then my mom mentioned something to her about actually doing it, and she said that she would, so we kind of bugged her about it.
That's one adventurous grandma. We hope that we're that much fun at age 80. Marilyn says that age is just a number, so being adventurous keeps her young and young at heart as well. We'll toss things over to Tegan.
Strong storms rolled through the Central Plains, and Texas seemed to get the brunt of it. Over the weekend, you can see storm chasers were on the hunt on Saturday in the Midwest, and this was captured video here in Lawrence, Nebraska. This quick-moving storm had high winds that sent debris flying, and you can see here on your screen as the storm chasers were sitting there, you could see it hitting their car as it continued to really build up speed. Of course, there's a few EF2, EF3 tornadoes spotted across the Central Plains and the Midwest. Temperatures today, cooler. We saw some rain of our own here in the tri-state area. At least some of us did. Others still saw a beautiful afternoon. Some light rain kind of moved through the Quincy area, heading down as you head into Payson, out towards Liberty. In fact, Pike County, Illinois actually was under a severe thunderstorm warning for about a half hour. Now, cooler today, still enjoying some nice sunshine, but it is a big warm-up in store heading in at least the beginning part of your holiday weekend, the unofficial start of summer, and believe me, it's definitely going to feel like it. We're clear into the upper plains, even as you head out towards the west. The Rockies not looking too bad. Some clouds starting to build in as we see a little bit of a storm system brewing towards the northwest. A little rain into the northern Great Lakes, and a little bit as well as you head straight south into Arkansas. Clear throughout much of the Midwest. Today, we're kind of clearing those clouds out. Still dominated by an area of high pressure, but you really felt that cold front move through yesterday afternoon, late evening, right around 6:30, 7 o'clock. Those winds started to shift from the south to the north. Cooler temperatures are really in store for us. No rain today, and there's really no chance yet in the 7-day forecast to see any rain. For some folks, it's been about 3 weeks since they've seen a significant amount of rain, and it's definitely much needed, especially as we get into these hot, humid days towards the end of the week. Highs today only into the 70s, 71 for Keokuk and Macomb, 72 for Hannibal and Quincy, so cooler yet comfortable across the area. Lots of sunshine, winds though bit brisk out of the north at 10 to 25 miles an hour. It's a cool evening as well. Open up those windows, get some of that light breeze through, give the AC a break today. Upper 40s as you head north, lower 50s as you head south. Winds out of the north right now. They'll switch to the south tomorrow. The beginning of our warm-up starts on Tuesday. Upper 70s to lower 80s, and we're already into the mid-80s by Wednesday. And then stretching ourselves into your Thursday, yep, the 90s return, not only heading into Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, we're into the lower 90s, 93 to kick off your Memorial Day weekend. Nighttime lows into the 60s, still warm, upper 80s by Sunday.
Looks good. Can watching TV really affect what your kids eat? We're going to find out next.
Plus, the city not too far from here has been named a good place for new graduates. That's all coming up in 3 minutes. It's 6:41. Good morning.
Good morning, and check out this live look from Columbus Circle in the Big Apple this morning. It's 6:43 here in the Tri-States. On to your local news. The more time your kids spend in front of the TV, the less healthy food they'll eat. That's the word from a new study that links television viewing to eating habits among school-age children. Here's a look at what this means for your kids in this week's Parenting Tips. Could being a couch potato mean being shaped like a spud? A new study from the National Institute of Child Health and Human Development studied the TV viewing and eating habits of 13,000 students in 5th through 10th grades. Carrie Gonzalez is a pediatric dietitian.
What they found, no surprise, was a relationship between increased viewing time and an increased intake of high fat, high sugar, high sodium foods, increased soda intake, even skipping breakfast. Inversely, they also found that there was a lower intake of fruits and vegetables.
Researchers say efforts to reduce television viewing or to change nutritional content of advertised foods may help. But she says kids tend to model parents' eating habits. That means your kids are what you eat.
You have to kind of take it a step back and say, okay, who's providing the food at home? And, kids are influenced by their friends when they're a little bit older, but also kind of taking a look, not just what's being seen on TV, but really looking at what's in our cupboards.
I'm Melissa Shriver with this week's Parenting Tips.
It is 6:45. Recent college grads might want to consider moving to the Midwest.
Yeah, St. Louis specifically.
Why not? Yeah, St. Louis has actually been named the happiest city, one of the happiest cities for job seekers for youngsters. That's according to a list put together by careerbliss.com. Now, the data is based on people's relationships with their coworkers, along with opportunities for growth and company reputation. But before you pack your bags and move to the Gateway City, we've done a little bit more research. If you recall, we talk about this stuff kind of a lot. St. Louis is also like number 4 on the list for most well-read cities in the country.
Good.
It's a good thing.
Good topic.
It's also the best city to live in for cheapskates, meaning it has a lot of free things to do. Cost of living is a little lower than some of the bigger cities.
That's the third good thing.
It's the most dangerous city to drive in.
Ooh, not so good.
And everybody makes fun of Missouri drivers, and I learned to drive in Missouri, so
I say they're
back off.
aggressive.
We're
I wouldn't
defensive.
say they're bad.
Defensive.
Yes.
That's how I say. And in 2010, St. Louis was the most dangerous city in the country.
Ooh, that's a big...
Based on murder and sexual assault arrests. But in 2011, they went to the 3rd most dangerous. So it's getting safer.
It's getting safer, and it's a good place to find a job, and you can live there for relatively...
I love St. Louis. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan.
Like
what
it
about
a
you,
lot.
Tegan? You like St. Louis?
Yeah, I actually love St. Louis. Family goes there quite often, and a lot of things to do, great shopping, and of course a lot of activities for the kids as well, kind of outside of the box type of stuff. Your bust up forecast this morning, kids, many of you may have taken your field trip there over the last month or so, and as school starts to wind down, you may have a couple more days left. It's cooler today. 51 degrees this morning. Grab a jacket before you head out the door, especially if you have recess outdoors or PE this morning. It'll be a bit cooler, but by this afternoon, 70, mostly sunny, a lot warmer by the end of the week.
Here's something fun for you. A great bid to buy auction starts at 7 o'clock this morning. Everything's on there, from a $500 gift certificate to Emerald City Jewelers and a queen-size Bemco mattress and box spring.
Just log on to our website, connecttristates.com, and place your bid. Here's Lindsay.
Apparently, every time I want to talk, a train goes by. So we have another train going by, but we are live this morning on the Hannibal Riverfront talking about boat safety. That's coming up next.
Live from across the tri-states, this is KHQA This Morning. It's your news now.
Whether you like it or not, the unofficial start to summer this weekend.
I like it. And Lindsay likes it too. She's out there on a boat.
I do. Well, I'm next to a boat. I don't know if you've seen that news blooper. There's a lady who's doing a live shot at a concert, and she's just standing there going, "What? What?" That's what I feel like, because the train just went by, but it's all gone. Yes, we're talking about boat safety. Next week it kicks off. I can't believe it's here already, but I am definitely ready for it as well. And we hope that you are too. We want to get you ready. We want to get your boat ready so that so that nothing bad happens to you on the river or on Mark Twain Lake also this summer. Jeff Creech is a sergeant with Missouri State Highway Patrol, and you are talking about boat safety. Life jackets, very, very important to have.
Very important. Very important to have the proper size, adult for an adult, child for a child, and make sure they're out and accessible so you can get to them in case of an emergency takes place.
And now 7-year-olds in Missouri have to have one on.
Any child under the age of 7, anytime they're on the water, they have to have it on, unless they're in an enclosed cabin, like down in a cuddy cabin on a large cruiser boat. They have to have it on.
All right. And now you guys you do complimentary inspections.
Correct. If you're out on the waterways and you see us on the river, on any of the lakes or the waterways, if you're not sure if you got everything that you need, flag us down. We'll be happy to do a safety courtesy inspection for you. And once we do an inspection and you got all the proper equipment that you need to have, we've got our little sticker that we put on your boat, and that way from a distance we know that you've already had a courtesy safety inspection for that year. And also we put out a little booklet on our handbook for Missouri boating laws. If you see one of us and you're not sure, you can get one of these from one of each officer on the water, or over around Mark Twain Lake. I know I personally take some to the businesses and the marinas over there so that they have supplies there that you can pick one up at, but it covers everything, all of our laws and regulations.
Now, before you're getting ready to go on the water, what should you do? Is there a checklist of things that you should go through?
Yes. One important thing is to check the weather before you leave the house, because the way the weather changes in Missouri, we all know that, and the Channel 7 Weather Lab, check them so that you know what the weather is. A storm can come up, you're not paying attention, you get caught on the water. Make sure the weather. Make sure, let somebody know. Take a cell phone this day and time. In Missouri, you can also call star 55 for the water emergency, just like you can on the highway. So star 55 will respond to help you with the emergency. But let somebody know where you're going and know what part of the lake you're on. We've got called out at midnight before, somebody missed it on Mark Twain Lake. It's 18,000 acres to go cover, so know where you're at on the lake when you do call in for some help, so just be alert of that. Also, your trailer, you need to make sure your trailer lights are working, and if you're going to be on the water after dark, make sure your navigation lights work before nighttime sets in. It's also a good idea to take a flashlight with you in case your navigation lights go out after dark while you're out there, so that other boats can see you on the waterway.
Anything else that you want boaters to know, whether they're riding in a boat or driving a boat?
Riding in the boat, it's illegal to ride on the gunnels of the boat, which is up on the top of the sides of the boat, and it's also illegal to ride on the bow of the boat if it's not made for it. It has to have adequate railings, anything at least 6 inches tall but not more than 18 inches tall, then you can ride on the front of the boat. And it's also illegal to ride on the deckings over the rear of the boats. I mean, if you fall off, look what's at the back of the boat. Look what's going to run over you if you do fall out of the boat. So.
And, of course, don't drink in boat.
Absolutely. Don't drink in boat at all. It impairs your judgment. The sun and the heat, as I said before, impairs your judgment enough out there, and you're tired. Alcohol just adds to that.
All right. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. Lots of great boating safety tips. People are going to be out on the river. Make sure that you're looking for them and you keep your eyes open as well.
Thanks, Lindsay. I love the very first tip. It says check the weather. So if you're boating today, here's your weather check.
Not many folks out on the water today, but if you're fishing, you might be out. 72 degrees is going to be our high with wind gusts up to 25 miles an hour. So kind of a cool, brisk day. But tonight, we're back into the 50s. Not too bad overnight. I definitely turn off the AC, open up those windows. Warmer, though, much warmer by this weekend.
6:54, we'll be right back with your Monday morning news fix.
It is Monday, May 21st. It is 4 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. A live look into Midtown Quincy. Welcome back.
On to your Monday morning news fix. Chicago is bracing for more demonstrations today on the last day of the NATO summit. Protesters with Occupy Chicago say they'll march to Boeing headquarters in the morning to protest the company's role in building airplanes for the U.S. military. Many downtown Chicago businesses are telling their employees to stay home.
Former Rutgers University student Darun Ravi will be sentenced today following his conviction on charges of bias, intimidation, evidence tampering, and invasion of privacy. Ravi secretly used a webcam to spy on his roommate's liaison with another man in their dorm room. The roommate, Tyler Clemente, later committed suicide. Melissa?
Autopsies are scheduled for this week for the 4 people killed during a weekend boating collision on the Mississippi River near Burlington. Search and rescue officials pulled the victims from the water yesterday. They say the head-on crash between 2 boats put 12 people in the water. 4 of those people, including 3 men and 1 woman, ages 19 to 22, didn't make it from the water. Radio station WQUB, or 90.3 FM, will have a new owner in the coming months. The University of Missouri St. Louis will buy the public radio station from Quincy University. After the sale is completed, it will be called Quincy Public Radio. And here's a reminder to commuters who use Quincy's Bayview Bridge. 1 lane of that bridge will be closed today and tomorrow for repairs. Crews will be sealing the bridge deck during daylight hours. Motorists are urged to watch their speed as they travel through that construction zone.
Well, this week is National Boat Safety Week, so we are getting you geared up for Memorial Day weekend, which is only a week away. We're talking about boating safety, and this life jacket is the best type to have. Also, there are Missouri boating law booklets that you can get at Mark Twain Lake. You can also look for them at other locations around that lake that Missouri State Highway Patrol has given them out. It's very important because nearly 500 people drown every summer. Also very important, check the weather before you go out boating. Tegan?
And your forecast for the next couple of days, not looking too bad. 72, much cooler today than we saw over the weekend. We're back into the 50s tonight, but check out both Tuesday and Wednesday. The 80s are back with us, but just wait. It gets warmer. 90 degrees on Thursday as we head into the holiday weekend. 92 on Friday. The unofficial ring-in of summer. We're seeing 93 degrees on Saturday. Those nighttime lows will be into the 60s. Upper 80s by Sunday, but overall it's a big change in the forecast from today heading into this weekend, about 20 degrees difference.
Memorial Day weekend is coming up. Tomorrow, it's not coming up tomorrow, but tomorrow on the show, we're going to show you how you can grill out without feeling guilty with extra calories. Be sure to tune in for that.
And coming up on CBS this morning, the blind Chinese dissident is now stateside. A look at his life following the diplomatic showdown. Plus, he and his brothers helped forge the dawn of disco, the life and musical legacy of Robin Gibb.
And Andy Cohen and Alex Trebek. That and much more starts right now on CBS This Morning. Happy Monday.